We have now arrived to a very important moment in this new life of Antica, because we have an experience now of 5 years of different vintages. And I think that what's exciting is that year after year and vintage after vintage, we have seen an evolution, we have seen an improvement, I would say, also because some of the vineyards that we have planted originally, now they have come of age, they are older, and they are able to produce a better wine, more concentrated, more complex, with more aging potential. And what really we have realized and we have seen here in this property is that we are able to produce wines which are not huge, big, heavy wine, but they have an incredible elegance, a concentration of flavors, and we have seen that year after year all these characteristics, which in my opinion are very unique, they are getting better and better.
I'm here to talk to you about the Antica Napa Valley 2008 Cabernet Sauvignon. I think the best way to first describe this wine is to talk a little bit about the vintage. The spring for us here in Napa Valley in 2008 was extremely cold. For many people, they say it was probably the coldest spring that we've had since the 1970s. And with that, we had a few nights of some temperatures below freezing temperature, so we did have some problems with spring frost. The spring frost, what it does, it kills the young shoots that are beginning to grow. And unfortunately for a grapevine not only has a primary bud, but it also has a secondary bud. But that had allowed us to still produce grapes, but it was very important that we brought uniformity into the way the grapes were growing. So we had to thin throughout the growing season in order to allow the grapes to ripen completely. Once we got through the spring months, the weather remained warm and dry. And matter of fact, for the vintage itself, it was a very early vintage for us here at Antica. We started to pick the Cabernet Sauvignon grapes in the middle of September, and we finished harvest in the early part of October, which is almost a full month earlier than what we see in some vintages here at Antica. So the fruit itself was fantastic fruit coming to the winery. Other than the yield being extremely low, our yield for 2008 was about two-thirds the volume that we saw in 2007. So unfortunately for us, the vintage itself is also a little bit smaller than what we saw in 2007. But with that, we're really seeing some wines that are just stunning, both in concentration and in purity of the fruit that comes through in the glass. The aromas are rich in black fruit, such as currant or black cherry, that just makes the wine truly inviting. And then along with the fruit is the spice that comes from possibly the barrel, which I would say has an aroma of roasted coffee. The flavors are a continuation of what you see in the aromas, but I think one of the real beauties of this wine is it's so well textured with very supple sweet tannins that really makes the wine truly inviting. Cheers.